Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, stories from the 70s. Talk about looks that can be deceiving. Looks like it should be warm, but it's not. That's how Chicago rolls in the springtime. What better way to celebrate spring and summer though than drinking some rum, right? And getting into a big room at the Logan Square Auditorium for the 7th Annual Chicago Rum Festival, happening April 22nd this weekend, divided up into 3 sections from 2 to 7. You can check out all the things that are happening there at chicagorumfest.com. I'm talking to the gentleman that started the Chicago Cane Collective. It's a new rum brand that will be at the fest. They just started up, so we're gonna go visit them now for this story from the 78. We're gonna get in the car, obviously. All right, so inside Two Eagles Distillery, you have Chicago Cane Cooperative here. That's some of their new rum. This is one of the co-owners. Daniel, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. So you guys are babies. You're just
Yes.
starting off, right? This is a brand new thing. Talk about that real quick, because you guys are also part of the Chicago Rum Fest. So you're just jumping
Yes.
right in, getting your feet wet.
Yes. So yeah, we'll be at the Chicago Rum Fest April 22nd, quick plug. But yeah, so we just started here in Chicago. We've been working on this since 2019, but we've been distilling for about a year now in this space here with Two Eagles. Two Eagles is a distillery out in Mount Prospect. They have been great partners throughout this process, helping us get started up here. We contract distill through them to make both of these rums here right now. We have a silver and a gold.
Yeah.
We have an unaged and an aged expression. 100% molasses based. Yeah.
And this is a play off of the Chicago flag with the stars and the colors and the whole thing.
That's right.
But it's a cooperative. Talk about what that means, a worker cooperative, because that's
right.
something a little bit different, especially, I imagine, in the rum distilling industry, right?
That's right. So when we were starting this up, it was really important to us to have this be, if we're going to start a business, we wanted to do it how we thought was the right way to do it. And so, yeah, we're a worker cooperative. What that means is that we are 51% or more owned by the workers legally. And then also, unlike, say, an ESOP is another way of doing worker ownership, we have our workers get to vote directly in how the companies run. So that's kind of the long and short of it.
Got it. And this is something that you just started about a year ago distilling, correct?
That's right.
2019 was when you first started the whole thing, which paperwork takes forever.
Yeah.
But you have a way of doing this where it's just very different in today's world, which is great. Chicago, and you're Cuban American, right? And that's where this whole started, like the curiosity of the rum, the way it's made. And you started doing this at your home, right?
That's right. So I started doing this as a hobby back in like late 2016, early 2017, just for fun. Got into it that way to explore kind of Cuban heritage. Obviously, my, for lack of a better word, my Cubanity is a huge part of my identity. I'm raised very Cuban. Actually was just there in February. But so exploring that kind of got me exploring rum. I got super fixated on it, and like delved super deep into it. And so this was kind of an exploration of that history, as well as just a fun outlet for me to play with stuff.
And not only that, but you brought in one of your pals,
That's
Sean.
right.
Come into the camera frame here a little
Hey.
bit. This is Sean. So this is the helm, the two leaders of the company,
That's right.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you guys are, in terms of business, you just starting up. You're babies. You're getting going, but
That's right.
you're already in one of the coolest rum events in
That's
the
right.
city. So congrats on that. But
Thanks.
just talk about that journey really quick, and then let's just sample a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to talk about Rum Fest?
Sure. So the Chicago Rum Fest, no, I mean like being able to be there. That's also really funny because that's also a background of how I got started. I had met someone who started her own very successful rum distillery at Chicago Rum Fest years ago, and she'd kind of helped out when we were first starting to think about it.
Yeah.
And so kind of full circle in that sense.
Yeah,
But,
I think it's like about that. Like we want to connect with the community. Obviously we want to like show people our rum. We want people to taste it and get really excited that there's a local rum distillery, but also to kind of connect with the community because that's really what we're about and like start to build this thing. That's the goal.
Yeah, to build it to something where people can find it at a Costco in 10
Exactly,
years, right?
yeah.
I mean,
And eventually,
at the end of the day, but do it the way that you want to do it, with the co-worker, or I'm sorry, worker-owned way of doing it, correct?
Definitely. And also, I mean, we have our 3 to 5 year plan is to get a space in the city of Chicago, to have the tasting room, to have all of that be this like community-oriented space where people can come, and there's just a lot more to it than just sitting there and sipping rum, which is also fantastic.
That is also. Speaking of, let's see, crack open one of these bottles.
Yeah.
So what's the one that we're going to see here, Sean?
We're gonna do the Solera H Gold Rum. I think this one's really good to start with. It's very rich in its palate. It has some good minerality to it as well, which is always nice. I think a lot of people don't realize you can sip on rum neat. It just depends on what you're drinking. So this is
like
an
a whiskey,
example
right?
of something that you can sip neat. It gives you a lot of flavor.
Yeah. So as he's getting that right. So these are the things that will be at the fest, right?
Yep.
Are you guys there all? How many days is it? 2 days?
Yeah, so we'll be there on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah.
But the festival is 2 days. I believe it's Friday night and Saturday during the day.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people. There are a bunch of like exhibitions. Everybody has a bunch to talk about. It's super fun.
Oh, I get the fancy glass, huh?
You
Yeah.
get the fancy glass.
Well,
You're doing all the work.
yeah, right. Well, cheers. Thank you very
Cheers.
much for bringing me in. I'm going to flip this here. We'll take a drink here in a second. As I was about to take the whole thing, I'm like, sip it, Tom.
Hey, if you want to take the
very
whole
good,
thing,
very
if you're enjoying
smooth.
it, then do it.
Yeah, I mean, I will, just because I want to get to the other flavor here, but yeah. Oh, that's smooth.
Thank you.
Smooth, easy. I can see how that
Sustainable.
could be definitely something that you can sip for sure. Yeah. So so next one?
The silver rum is an unaged expression, so it's basically straight off the still. There's a tiny bit of the gold rum added to this bottle, and I can't get it open.
And that the distilling process that you guys were talking about is right behind you. This is it.
Yeah.
This is the whole thing.
This is it.
So, and when it's coming out of the process, it goes right in this barrel right here. Correct?
That's right.
And then you bottle it up. Is the bottling happening here too?
Yeah, so bottling happens here. Everything happens here. Aging, bottling. Later we'll be putting out some
Struggle bus. over
infused. I got you. Later we'll put out some infused ones as well. So we'll have later in the year a spiced rum. We're doing a chai spiced rum, and then we'll also have an Amaro and a few other things that we're playing with.
there. So what should people expect when they're taking on this one here?
There's a lot of like sweet grass agricole notes. There's a tiny bit of like honey sweetness, but the biggest thing, we leave a lot of tails in, so at the end there's a good funk finish that is really good for cocktails as well. So it helps you taste the booze when you're having a cocktail.
Well, cheers to your new business. Much success. I hope I can come back and do this from the opening of the distillery in Chicago.
That would be amazing.
Definitely.
What's the website people can go to learn about you guys? I think that's right.
ChicagoCane.com.
And follow us at Chicago Cane Co-op.
Chicago King Co-op on Instagram.
On Instagram. Yep.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, stopped me in my tracks for a second when I was drinking it. So we'll see you guys at the fest, though, here in April. Thanks again and congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, check those guys out this weekend at the Chicago Rum Festival, tombarnishchicago@gmail.com. If you have a suggestion for a story from the 78, or head over to the website storiesfromthe78.com. We'll see you guys later.